Okay, I have to make a closing video about this series, a third one, because I left a couple of things out that I think is important. One being that I should be more careful with my words because I said the North Node going into Gemini will be about media wars. But that description comes more along the lines of Saturn actually entering Aquarius. So to get back to North Node being in Gemini and not being in actual war, I want to say that the intent is to commune with media, with press, with magazines and things of that nature. And this is how you'll be able to identify when people are pulling the wool over your eyes or creating a charade or being, creating slapstick satire over sensualization or all of that stuff. You'll be able to know when it separates, when the news separates instead of unifies. And that being is because Gemini is the expression of Gemini is the connecting of ideas to unify on one accord and say, look, let's think about this, ideas that are ideal, and how do we come together on those things, right? It's not about fear mongering and make this person fear that one and etc etc. So this is how you'll be able to know. Now with Saturn entering inside of not Saturn, excuse me, entering inside of Aquarius, what you can expect Saturn to do is enforce some type of rules that may have not been enforced in the internet prior to this. And I don't mean just any rules from, should I say, well, I'd have to say it, just from the top of these corporations that say, oh, we don't like Republicans, so we're going to push their articles to the bottom of the pile, and we're going to facilitate and promote democratic points of views. You get what I'm saying? That would be something from the top of a corporation. But Saturn is the regulations of the collective governance. So you can see government, more than anything, probably get involved with these, and I guess you could say like attacks on truthers and those types of reporters for what they've been experiencing on the internet. If it just, it's an unbiased approach of why these things are getting shut down or why no real explanations are coming from solidified positions inside of these tech companies that are suggesting that their content is bad in contrast to other content. You get where I'm going with this? So for a while now, a lot of platforms have been allowed to pretty much enforce their own rules on these types of things, whereas you would say the collective governance, which would be government, has turned either a blind eye to it. We've seen the conferences where they've had some of these CEOs under the fucking fire, right? Questioning them and doing things, but that was just the beginning of it, mind you. North Node and Capricorn, right? That was the beginning of it, the letting them know, like, look, we're on to you, like, we understand what's happening and we want to let you know that we know. And whether they make changes to get from under that scrutiny is up to them, right? We shall see. But and things like elections coming up and stuff like that will help people to be able to see that. Now, but with Saturn coming into the sign of the internet now, you can see that some type of support mechanism will be there, and it might even be some that goes against some YouTubers, for example, or some people who post on Facebook, whatever platform you use. Instagram, you might see some things that shake things up on, opposing what you believe or prefer. But just be prepared for that, is what I'm saying. And that's where the more warlike type things will be expressed, because there's going to be some type of efficiency wanting to be put there that gives everyone an independent voice, but connects everyone at the same time, as the internet is supposed to do, right? And please do expect also that some of these groups will be segregated, right? Some of these groups will be segregated and say, okay, well, we're on the left, we're on the right, we're Republican, we're Democrat, we're independents, we're liberal. However, the plan, though, is to regulate this in a way that it says, okay, you can be whoever you want to be, but it doesn't mean that you can't express yourself, or this one is more favored because they put more money into it, or you understand what I'm saying? I'm just putting out different types of scenarios. How it will play out in detail, I don't know yet. So with independence at hand and Gemini, the North Node going into Gemini, and let me talk on this a little bit briefly as well, because I didn't mention this before, but the South Node going in Sagittarius is going to do something. It's going to do something like, and this is just a guess of mine right now, is that spirituality may be put on the back burner. Like, it may not be looked to in the same light that it's been looked to before. So you can expect things to be refuted, like certain ideologies. You can expect people to look for more active and concrete solutions done on hands rather than actually discussing them. So trust me, I tell you, I'm preparing myself to even see where, okay, if my services are required astrologically wise, they might be only required for on hands applications. Like, how can I solve an issue by taking action? You understand what I'm saying? Rather than, get your yoga mat and do stretches and just pray, and all of that stuff might be out the window, yo. And it might not be, and I'm not saying like religion and everything's just totally wiped out. I'm just saying the approach of looking at how to communicate and solve issues, there's going to be some unearthing going on with that. There's going to be some hold on, wait a minute type stuff going on. What year are we living in again? Like, it's going to be stuff like that happening. It's going to be like, oh, really? I got to go to church and I got to tithe. And like, hold on, it's going to be, and I don't mean to toy or play around with this by putting these examples out, but I just want to give some hints into what you can expect, because Sagittarius is a sign of spirituality, higher belief systems, the education system as well. So again, I have to be on point, because, and this is another testament of that, is how Harvard is connected to the coronavirus, right? Now, higher education will come under some scrutiny, some type of, how do everyone know the studying and the experimenting in labs and applying theories? How do we know it's the best for society and humanity? How do we weigh it in contrast to the dangers or the potential dangers that all of this knowledge has? So the notion that knowledge is power, which the Aquarius age and Aquarius strongly supports, is going to become evident now. At the same time, questionable. So, okay, knowledge is power, and then people will say, well, power corrupts, and corruption corrupts absolutely, or whatever, right? So now it's going to be like, oh, now we're not supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be dumbed down now. So it's just going to be, it can get iffy like that. You can also expect to see things that says, okay, well, everything that's large and grandiose is not great. The more is not the better. Less is more. You're going to see these types of perceptions come into play and actually make sense, whether you prefer them or not. These things might actually be, once revealed, put into the universe, should I say, just strongly in thought, right? Maybe not something concretely to be, should I say, made as law or something like that, but strongly emphasized in the idea realm to say, this is something that we should support. This is something that we should consider. Because of X, Y, and Z. And another hint towards that is some major companies going belly up, right? If more is better, why did this happen? And until you can prove otherwise, we're leaning towards this way now. We want to cut the fat. We want to check this whole thing out. We want to revise everything that's going on, because obviously everything is not chalked up as what it seemed to be. So those are the things that I wanted to mention before letting this series go. Yeah, even travel will change coming up soon. So you may see, put it this way, long distance travel may be something that is scanned with a very careful eye now, and something that is maybe even done only under business pretenses after it is confirmed that these individuals truly live where they live and, you know, truly are there on business, and the whole vacation shit might even just fucking stop. I don't mean to scare anyone, I swear I don't, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at astrology, and that's what astrology has to offer. That's what astrology suggests, that long distance travel will pretty much face a revision. And if it doesn't stop altogether, that is how it would be done. Like, it would be some real careful scaling of how it's being applied. On the contrary, short distance travel will be amplified. So you can catch yourself checking in on your elder. And again, this is a hint of it, right? Because right now you want to make sure, or a lot of people are making sure, that their family members and immediate people, neighbors and stuff like that are all right. When before it was just like everybody was living La Vida Loca on a fucking party until whatever fucking year. But then this shit happened, and now everybody's like, oh, yo, you okay? Are you okay? And everybody's calling and texting like, oh, you okay? You okay? You okay? Right? So you can see this amplified now. When things do get back in motion, there's going to be a stronger sense of nationalism, because community is going to be looking to get involved, to be motioning around. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be like it was yesterday. This is also probably going to come with some maybe heavier policing as far as the transport of vehicles goes in your immediate community. Questioning like where you're going and why you're going there. And I know this may sound intrusive and, you know, just fucked up, but these types of things can occur. And I told you this is the biggest census we probably are facing since Deuteronomy right now. There's something behind it. That's because of something. So expect more traffic stops to be based upon those types of things. But also the purpose, like there should be purpose of travel rather than joyriding. Like joyriding is going to be like a crime come North Node, come in Gemini. And I don't mean that literally, of course, you know what I'm saying? But when you see the type of concern that's going to be involved with it, you might feel like it, like, ah, damn, I can't just take a ride because I want to get through my thoughts and listen to some music. Like, no, motherfucker. Like, shit real out here. Like, you going to drop some groceries off to Mom Dukes, and you going to go back to go back home, or go to work and then go back home. Like, because what it will do is, what it's expected to do is strengthen the community, strengthen the sense of nationalism, strengthen the source of community, right? Something that was almost let go of completely until a crisis came about to make people actually think about each other again. All right, I'm out.